In Inazuma 11, we have a stat called Technique. Each move in Inazuma 11 from go onwards has a difficulty assigned to it. If a player's technique stat isn't greater than or equal to the difficulty of the move they're trying to pull off, there is a chance that they could fail the move. We went over this in a previous video, consider checking it out for a more in-depth look. Aside from determining whether or not a move will fail, the technique stat is also one of the variables that plays a role in the power calculation of a move. So even though there is a set highest difficulty, the higher the technique stat, the better. In a previous video, we've also gone over the fact that anime iterations and game iterations of players and story events can feel like night and day. And in this video, we're going to be looking into a move that could possibly abide by this rule in Victory Road. This is due to how it was implemented and shown off in the Orion story, coupled with the fact that game balance is obviously going to be a necessity in Victory Road. Last Resort is the signature move of the Orion iteration of everyone's favorite ace striker, gouenji shuuya. And when I say this move is some fuckery, I mean it with a capital F. So much so that they had to write him out of the story. This move had the national team in shambles, scrambling to replicate the move during Axel's absence, and their success rate was borderline non-existent, even when utilizing 3 or 4 players instead of the intended 1. So needless to say, it's a ridiculously hard move to pull off correctly and fully while solo. Look, excluding Axel. This brings a few things to mind. Firstly, Orion Axel is most likely going to have an absolutely disgusting technique stat if they're going to reflect this in the game. But like we've gone over before, anime and game iterations of characters are usually quite different in this series. Secondly, this move is probably going to have the highest possible difficulty if difficulty is still a thing. Or it could be a move with special properties similar to Penguin Hand. Maybe this move's difficulty will be so high that there is always a chance you're going to fail the move if you use it, or something along those lines. And lastly, it could just be a regular move. As the games, generations, and stories of Inazuma 11 go on, moves change in terms of their properties. Let's take Fire Tornado. Base 90 power raw in Chrono Stones. In Go Galaxy it's base 70 power. This could be the case despite Last Resort never being in a mainline game before. The story is not going to revolve around Orion, and it's a massive part of Orion. It's a thing of the past, and the move might not be that big of a deal at all. They might just fit into the game as a regular move, if it's even in the games, because we haven't seen much Orion content at all in the promo media. On the topic of Fire Tornado, Last Resort is basically the Fire Tornado of Orion. In the past, we've seen a bunch of moves based off of Fire Tornado, like Back Tornado, Dark Tornado, Double Drive, Triple Crusher, Double Tornado, and possibly more that I'm forgetting about. And then Orion was pretty much the same for Last Resort. We had like Sigma, Dragon, Overcyclone, etc. Axel was basically like the biggest trendsetter in Inazuma 11 for strikers at least. Something I want to point out before I end is that level 50 is going to be the max on release. I'm not sure whether it's going to remain at level 50 permanently or be increased in the future, but on release we know it's going to be level 50. As a result, characters will have lower base stats and potential stats. Actually, now that I think about it, I don't even know if freedom's going to be a thing. I've never really considered it not existing, but there's a possibility for Victory Road. Lower overall stats means lower technique stats all around. So my immediate thoughts are either move difficulties are going to be adjusted if they're still a thing, and stat calculations are going to be very different, or we're just going to be failing moves left, right, and center. So either one of those two things is going to happen. We need more info, but I think that's all for now.